What's up, everyone? Welcome at the Artist Coaching Podcast with Mr.
Hardway.
Jobke,
and Mr.
JoeySuki, Joey,
and we're waiting for
Ralph, Mr. Bassjackers. Yeah, fashionably late as always.
Yeah.
He didn't respond so far, but I guess he'll come in later. Let's see if the live stream. Oh, now it's working.
Live stream is live. Fresh Ghost is already here. He was already here very early, so maybe he
Look
was
at that.
here already yesterday.
I'm here way too early. What's up, Fresh Ghost? What's up, Steph Kevlar? What's up, Fresh Ghost? There we are. What's up? Hope you guys are all good. Steph Kevlar says, just seeing this thumbnail with their faces makes me happy. Oh, that's nice to hear. What's up, Bit3? I should double check that thumbnail though. I changed the layout for the episodes.
Oh,
I have to check
exciting! We're upgrading, guys.
No, I've done that like a couple of.
I like the thumbnail.
Weeks.
I like the thumbnail.
Okay, I'll keep it. I'll keep it. What's up, Hank? Hello. Okay.
Steph Kevlar just bought Focusrite Solo 4th Gen. We'll listen to them in background while setting it up.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Nothing beats a good unboxing. Like getting that package in and then unboxing it, like that's Christmas.
Man, there's a reason there's viral unboxing channels on YouTube.
Yeah, man. That's something satisfying.
Satisfying to look at. Especially if you're gonna buy something and it hasn't arrived yet, and then you watch someone else unbox it, and you're like,
But why would that be? Like, why is it so exciting to watch someone unbox something?
I mean,
like,
good products are just so well designed, and they look so shiny and nice that you just want to look at them, and you just want to like already get into the feeling, I guess. So it's like you just want to see that experience before you can have it.
You want to know what to expect, maybe.
Yeah, and just already look at it. Hey, Ralph!
There he is.
Ralph's here, guys, from Bassjackers. Also, always in the podcast.
Special guest. No, I ran an appointment, ran a little bit late. I haven't even eaten yet, so I'm going to eat also.
Oh, you're going to be cranky all hour long.
I'm
more
cranky because I have to look at your faces, guys.
There you go. Hangry Ralph.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I know the feeling.
Hey,
anyway, Ralph,
dude.
How was your week, Ralph? We didn't talk about our weeks yet, but I thought that's just interesting.
I'm a little bit more busy than I would like to see.
How did that happen?
I'm doing a lot. Business is going really well. I think, contrary to many in the music scene, Bassjackers is thriving. But also we're doing a lot of other stuff. Although I'm saying we're, but that's basically me.
Don't show Marlon this.
We're in the process of selling some real estate and remodeling and selling, and that takes up also quite a chunk of the time. And also on the music front, we're getting a lot of assignments, which are fun, but also take up time. So
how many
time is not on my side.
How many gigs did you do so far this year, Marlon?
Not sure. Maybe 12. We're having a pretty busy week in front of us. Marlon's doing America, then Thailand, and then Canada. All in 2 weekends. So
busy. Yeah. Okay. How was your week, Jobke?
Busy. With not with much music things, I guess, but just although I did finish the masters for my upcoming release, so they're all good to go, and just family stuff, man. It's like I can't finish any project I start. I can't as well as in the studio as at home. So it's been just one of those weeks where like, what did I even do? Sleep is not one of them. So yeah, but it's fun. I even though I sleep less, I love spending time with my family. So
It makes me think about that meme, like that girl watching the house burning down while
it's
she's
fine.
looking at it
It's
like
fine.
it's fine. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, that's
Feels
you.
like that a little bit, but
Okay.
no, I feel good, not very rested, and but yeah, yeah, all good in the hood, I guess.
Okay. Um, I saw somebody in the chat. Bit3 mentions I got a problem on the Discord and I can't read the chapter of the book. Bit3, I'm not sure what you mean. I do know that last week somebody else was also having problems getting in, but it should be fixed now because they got in. So I should check. I haven't uploaded my part of today, by the way. I have written, actually restarted again. I started from the beginning again. So the whole first chapter that you read last week is gone, and and I restarted.
Great
Yeah,
project. I love it.
I just last week I was thinking like it didn't feel right, and I decided to switch the script and start all over again. So I rewrite the first chapter and it's done. So I'll upload it later today in the Discord for everybody
Nice,
to check
nice,
if they
nice.
want. And I'll double check the if you have access Bit3. Let me know on Discord as well because I can check for you. Anyways, last week
Anywho,
I got into
A fight?
no, not a fight,
What?
but like a content funnel on TikTok, which I thought was very interesting. And I wasn't the only one, as always. Do you guys know Benny?
OnlyFans.
No. Do you guys know Benny Blanco? Benny Blanco?
It sounds familiar.
No.
Yes.
He did stuff with a lot of big artists, actually, with Justin
Isn't he
Bieber.
dating Selena Gomez right
Yeah,
now?
exactly. Yeah, that
Yeah.
guy. Yeah, but I somehow got into.
Isn't it sad that that's how I first
Yeah, that's pretty sad
heard his
because
name?
if you see what he has made, like all the
Yeah,
tracks that he has produced, it's
I found out.
insane.
I found out after
Oh
because he
wow.
wasn't really in the spotlights that much, I guess. And then Selena
Yeah,
Gomez puts him in the spotlight, and then it's like, whoa, he's been doing this, and then
yeah, I believe they did an interview together last week, and that was pretty like that went viral. But I don't
Hmm.
know. Like I saw a lot of content coming by with his face being a guest in a podcast from a guy named Daniel Wall. I've never heard of him before, but there's
No.
this podcast where Benny Blanco tells about like the stories behind all those hits. It's
Yeah.
super fun. Like it's amazing to hear the stories, how they like produced the songs, where the ideas came from, who was supposed to be writing or singing on the song, and who ended up singing on the song. He actually
Yeah.
shows you like previous versions of the songs, so the raw versions. So if you think if you feel like that's interesting or fun, you should definitely check it out. It's I think if you just go to TikTok and find Benny Blanco, you'll probably find a shitload of videos. But I thought that was really fun, and that made me think about ghost producing again. As in, somehow it's so weird in my mind that with pop music it's so open and so normal to talk about these things like, oh, I made the song for this person and that person, and then when you look at EDM, suddenly it becomes this weird little awkward thing we don't talk about.
Yeah, but you know why? Because in pop music, generally, people don't pretend that they wrote it. They just perform the song, they sing it.
Mm-hmm.
In EDM, it's like guys pretending they have produced a song, which creates this whole vague, like, what are you really doing? Because those aren't MIDIs in the project file.
But
um,
what if I would not pretend and just say like, hey, this guy made my songs?
I think that the fans wouldn't care, and I think that's why it's so weird to me that there are guys out there that work with the team, and a lot of people in the industry know they work with the team, but they still pretend to not do that or not mention it, and I think that's a shame.
Yeah.
Because I think the crowd doesn't care where your music comes from. In fact, I think if they know you work with
Mm.
talent and you work with different people, they will respect if you show that, and it will make it just a bit more open and like real or something.
Yeah, I think it could be a strong point, but
Yeah.
somehow in
Mhm.
EDM it just feels awkward, and it definitely has to do with the part that you say, as in they try
Yeah.
to bury it in some kind of way.
Yeah.
But I can't really recall an EDM artist who is like fully outed, as in they say that they have a ghost producer and everybody's
No,
okay
it's
with it.
it's always a bit vague. Even with
Yeah, right.
David Guetta, where he always credits everyone. So there's he's known to work with other producers. He still doesn't fully give full details about
Yeah, that's
how
weird,
it's
right?
exactly made, and he still has these videos where he makes the projects or works in the project. So you never know if what's really going on. But yeah, I agree. There's some kind of weird secrecy about all this. But I
But
guess
the
it's
thing is,
maybe
oh,
maybe it's insecurity about those big DJs because they're like, man, if I don't even make my own music, what do I really do? So I better pretend I make this music because otherwise,
well,
I'm
playing a
nothing.
good set is
Yeah,
also a thing. It's
DJing.
about, but what you kind of miss here, Joey, is it's not that somebody says to a certain guy or girl, make me a hit. It doesn't work like that. It's usually in the successful. I mean, we're not going by the odd ones out. I mean, there's always somebody that said, make me a hit, and it worked, but that's the odd one out.
Mm.
But usually it's somebody who does have a certain vision of how it needs to be sound. He or she does have feedback. It's not that they're not in action at all. A certain a successful how do you say it
Collaboration.
exactly, always has a lot of dialogue in there, a lot of communication, and most of the time also a clear vision. And if that comes from the person who's not making the music per se, I mean, it's not usually not the vision of the one who makes it, the producer himself or
Yeah,
herself.
he's
You
just
know,
like
so
the. Yeah.
that's where yeah, that's kind of something you missed in what you just told
But
us. Yeah.
why do you think there's this secrecy, Ralph? And why do you
There's not per se a secrecy, but it's also not. We've discussed this before. It will never happen that in an interview somebody will say, "Well, I didn't make it myself." Why should they? You know, I mean, it's just not elaborated. I'm fine with that, to be honest.
Yeah, it's
I
fun.
think, but that's what I also said. I think the crowd doesn't care. And someone in the comments actually says, Colin, he says, yeah, it's only producers that care. And I can see that as well.
Yep.
It's like
Mm.
producers care about it, but fans, they're like, whatever. I like this guy's show and I love his music. So why would I
You
even
know,
think about that?
and also I'm really annoyed by the people you just described. Jobke, they get the tracks like all these long waves and they put them in their DAW and they go like, well, here you hear a trumpet and these are the beats. Man, you're full of it. Shut the fuck up. And I still see people comment on it like, wow, this and that and blah, 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 blah. I mean, then you're just Milli Vanilli pretending too much. You can also exaggerate. But the essence of ghost producing or call it co-producing, I'm fine with it as
Yeah, me
long
too.
as it's the
Same.
vision of a certain person. And
Yeah.
Yep.
also playing a good set nowadays, people are more critical. It takes more than just hot queuing the one record after another.
True. No,
Exciting times, man. It's
I'm
all
on board. As
positive.
in, I think people should be outing itself more if they work with a team. Like I wouldn't be embarrassed. I think it could be a strong point because
Yeah, but to
being a
be honest, like almost nobody makes a big deal out of it. It used to be because there were like hordes of people online trying to flame whoever. I mean, we at one point had one track where Fabian Lense was on, and then we got flamed. I was making tutorials. I mean, what are you on about? People were just, it was like a witch hunt. But
yeah,
I'm
that
actually
ended.
glad that that stuff that didn't contribute at all.
Yeah, true. That kind of
And
ended. But I just really liked. I'm not sure if you heard it in the beginning, but I really liked those content series from Benny Blanco. Just
yeah,
like hearing
I
all
heard.
the stories behind all those hits, how they got together and how they were created, and it's just so random. Like a lot of people tend to think that on a high level everything is planned out and strategically thought of, and then when you
Oh
hear
man.
these kind of stories, it's just one call. Like he's just one in the studio thinking like, oh, I should call that guy, and then that person says,
Mm.
oh, that's actually a nice song. Let me try something, and then something clicks, and like, oh yeah, let's finish it and see.
Let me tell you this: nobody knows what they're doing. Everybody's just trying shit.
Yep.
That's why you should try shit, and quite a lot.
Yeah, that is one of the biggest life lessons I've learned over the past 10 years. Like figuring out nobody knows what they're doing.
Mm.
Nobody. It's just we tend to believe that people who are at a higher level should have their act together, but
Mm.
they're also just trying, like trying new stuff.
People
But
who didn't produce sometimes also told me, "Yeah, I'm pretty sure that when Axel goes into the studio and he has a certain sound in his head, he will make that." No, no effing way. He just started. He did have a certain thought, but it will never be the stuff you think of first, you know. And along the way, something happens and gets created. That's how creativity works.
yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna make shit. Even the best producers in the world make shitty things. So it's like
Mm.
that's also for some people an eye opener.
Can you give an example of that?
Well,
Like
me,
you're a big Alesso fan. What did he make shitty?
on his computer, there's so much stuff probably on every producer's computer.
Yeah.
There's
So
so
there's
much
you like
stuff.
all of his tracks.
This is the thing. If you make 100 tracks, maybe 10 get
I'm just
released.
fucking.
So
Mm.
on my computer as well, there's so much shitty things, and um, yeah, there's many jokes you can make now, like yeah, but also the stuff you put out. But they're
Not
just like
just on your
the
computer.
ratio of like
Dude,
um,
I don't
good
even want to
tracks
hear
to
what's
bad
on your
tracks.
computer then, man.
It's
Yikes.
always more bad stuff, and it's always more stuff experimenting than stuff you actually put out.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I think
The end goal
What?
here, the difference between, like, let's say successful artists and the ones who are not, mostly is they're at least trying, right? Like they're making music, a lot of music, they're making mistakes, they're learning from their mistakes, but at least they're making progress, and by making that progress they're also building their career, where most artists get stuck in the process of getting the perfect track out, which will never happen. So it's like a mental hurdle that they give themselves, which most successful artists don't have, as in they just go. Is like
yeah,
perfectionism something you
just do.
struggle with? Because I know that a lot of producers are, but is perfectionism something you now or maybe have dealt with in the past?
No, not me, not really. I think to some extent, yes. And with some projects, you're just pushing it, or you're just never satisfied. But you quickly realize that
Oof.
the songs that do well are the stuff you didn't really think about, like the easy. You were just in some kind of flow, and it just worked because you were just feeling it and not really thinking too much. And I think as soon as you realize that, you just yeah, just create and don't think about the end result too
But you
much.
haven't put out all the music, right, that you've made.
No, definitely not.
And why not?
Well, not everything's good. I mean, this is the thing. You create as if you don't care, and then once you finish songs that you're like feel a bit more than I don't care, and then you look like with your team or by yourself, like, hey, this is what I think is really good. And then there's stuff that's good, but yeah, like
It's okay-ish.
it's okay. And then there's stuff that's just shit.
It's
And
better when you
there's
can kill your darlings.
huh? Sorry.
It's better when you can kill your darlings.
Elaborate, please.
Killing your darlings means that you
That you have to choose between good stuff.
that you
Oh, yeah.
extinguish the bad songs and choose the right ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And have you
But I
ever
gotta
dealt?
say, in some points, I'm really being perfectionistic because when I'm making a radio edit, for instance, how do I start? Man, I can try 8 ways, and sometimes Marlon says, "Dude, it's okay, just stop it."
Hmm.
But I don't think it's really perfectionism. I think that's what it takes, and all the little stuff. Every time you listen to your final master, you will hear shit that's not okay, and at some point you have to just let go. But yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. So how do you deal with that? Is that literally just as simple for you to say like, okay, this has taken too long, let's get it out, accepting the fact that there are flaws
are they flaws? Yeah, sometimes just
for you?
no. And I can always listen to something and think something different.
Hmm.
It's
Okay.
also, yeah, just oh, this lead should be harder. These drums don't sound as fresh as blah 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 blah.
It, it,
But it's
it
also because you evolve, and
yeah.
and every time you finish a project, you go to the next one, you will learn shit, and then reflect on the earlier project, and you will think differently about that project.
Mm-hmm.
That's how life
It really
goes.
helps to work with a team or with a friend, because then you can go back and forth and be like, you know what, this is the final version, and then you're like, let's say you work with a label or an A&R, and they'll have some few points, and then you fix that, and then okay, that's the final, and then you shouldn't really, then you just go ahead to your next project, because then later you will find other things like, ooh, I should have changed that transition or that, but that's always gonna happen. And with the time as well, like now I would
Ooh,
create a whole different style, or my whole arrangement would be different, from tracks that I did 5 years ago or even a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
So
what's
it's like,
different?
hmm?
What's different?
Everything, like how you mix, how you feel, how you, it's just you come back to a project and you would have done things differently, or you will now finish it differently, so depending on
No, but I
the
thought you
time.
said I'm doing stuff now differently.
Well, not massive differently, but you change as a person, so you also do things differently, you listen to your music differently. So it's not that I do big things differently, it's just you would make other choices,
Okay.
production wise,
Here's
based on
a
No,
your
because to be honest,
preference.
I think the world has changed drastically after COVID and took some time to adjust for the whole world. But now tracks are so different. Man, it's like day and night
what has
as
mainly changed
opposed to
between now and then.
way more musical, more beats, less pauses. Yeah,
Hmm.
more dancing. I like it. Weren't you fed up with all the shit? You had this big progressive drop, then 16 bars of a drop, and then boom, then
but
you're done again. And you get the chords again. Man,
but
that shit has been
that's
done
also
like
looking
thousand times.
but that's also looking very much at like the mainstream sets. I mean, in my sets I've always done like proper mixing, where I wouldn't go like from break to break, let's say. I would have transitions that last
Your
longer
sets
and
are
housey, and
online, Jopke. We can check it out.
exactly, they're not. No, they're not. So it's like they're not. I didn't play Ultra Main Stage. I didn't play all those main stages where it was recorded. I played many, 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 many sets that no one except the people there have heard. So it's like there are way more sets not recorded
Mm.
than there
No,
are.
but
So I
I
think you're
can
really
notice
talking about
because
the
the intro and outro
mainstream.
are so much different now than they were used to be. Your extended is so much more based on mixing now. And that you also didn't do it. Nobody did. It just
Hmm.
wasn't built and equipped for it. Your tracks were just,
My tracks,
yeah.
not per se, but my sets wouldn't be only my tracks. They never were. They never will be. I love playing other people's music,
No,
and
no,
I
no.
think
But
there
nobody just, hey, it was all just, I mean, if you
there's
make a
always
track,
been there's always been way houseier tracks. There's always been like Chocolate Puma tracks with intros that do last 1.5 minutes,
no, it's not
and
about the time. It's also what they do. Are they playing chords already? Then you're fucked already.
Yeah, in
but
the
there's
intro.
always been all kinds of music,
Yeah,
is what I'm saying.
and also
So
the
there,
outro. You just want it to be one tone.
I guess I played both as well. Like there were tracks that were mixed into like the drop, the break, but also tracks that had like an extended that you could work with, where you can just like do a transition.
Dude, nobody did it
For
like that. It
example,
was all hot
all those
queuing. Pop,
no, but
pop, 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 boom.
all those Swedish
I don't
tracks,
agree,
for
Ralph. I don't
example,
agree at all.
Huh?
all those Swedish tracks, they normally had like a decent intro and decent outro that you can mix in and mix out, and then there was the song in the middle, the musical part of it. But it was mainly the rougher styles, like the harder kind of EDM styles, where you went from break to drop and boring mixing, you could say. But the musical stuff, so let's say the Swedish stuff back then, they still had like intros, outros, which you could work with.
So like Lactos has it?
I don't know, actually, I
Think
don't
so.
remember.
Quetzals?
But like the track from Alesso, the remix from One Republic, it had like a decent intro.
I don't know, to be
Yeah,
honest.
it has like a decent intro that you could work with. Like all the remixes from Axwell do have like drums in the intros, like 1 minute intros. But yeah, I think
I cannot remember a lot of extendeds that allowed
I
it.
just
And it
think
wasn't
the
also a thing. I mean, nobody did it. Yeah,
I
I
just
didn't
think
hear any
the
sets. To be honest, I didn't even heard the Swedes do it in their last set at
no, it's mainly
Tomorrowland, to
yeah,
it's
but
be
I
probably
honest.
think at the Marland main stage set and the Ultra and all the sets that are recorded, it's so much different from a set that I would play in a club, for example, or a set that anyone would play
That's
in a club.
true.
yeah.
That's
And
true.
I
that's
think it has
where
more to do with the main stage vibe over like smaller stages. I think that's
But
the
the main
biggest
stage is
difference.
really, really,
Yeah,
really different now.
yeah,
that's what I
yeah.
didn't
Although,
like about the sets last year at Tomorrowland. Like it just was like track break, track break, track break. Like boring, man. Really
but the
boring.
Swedes, you like them, you're a big fan.
I liked
They
them
were
last year
actually
as well.
really, really, really guilty of that.
No, but last year they played a smaller stage at Tomorrowland, like the tent. I liked that set. I really liked it.
Didn't they play the? Oh, that's last year. Okay, not
Yeah,
the year. When was I there and I saw the Swedes?
you played main stage last year, and they were playing. It was Axel and Ingrosso together. They played in the tent last year.
No, oh, Axel and Ingrosso,
Yeah,
but
not
the
Swedish
Swedes
House
played
Mafia.
before Hardwell, right? Yeah.
That could be like the one I visited was Axel and Ingrosso, but
And
that
it was
set was
cool because they
amazing.
did all the throwbacks, but it wasn't like for me mixing technically of like a set like is
Yeah,
this real highlight. The only highlight is that we that they showed how many big hits and how many good music they
yeah, that's
have made.
insane.
Yeah,
Here's a question from Steph Kevlar. Do you guys ever play two identical sets, or do you read the audience and go with the vibe?
The second one, yeah.
yeah. Nowadays, if you play a main stage set and you do what Jobke says, you will fail.
Yeah, so you have to
Yeah.
prepare it.
You have to prepare it time wise. Everything you
I
want to showcase, you need to put it in 58 minutes because you always get an intro. You'll have to prepare. If you
but
miss one
this
cue
is like
point, you're
this
done
is
already.
this is the same thing of like I agree fully. I think if I play a main stage and it's being streamed, I'm gonna prepare my set. I'm gonna make sure I play the songs that I want to play. But this is such a big difference. It's such a big. Maybe now that gap has been way bigger from clubs and smaller festivals to the big main stages. But I think for a club show or for a smaller festival, I would never prepare. I would prepare a folder for that day with new music, my new tracks I want to play, and then kind of go from there. And I think that's the real fun part about real DJing. Not that you can press all these hot cues and stuff and do all these little tricks, but that you can select tracks where you would have not ever thought in a million years of beforehand. You're like, ooh, this crowd is gonna love this right now, and
Yeah.
that's the real magic of DJing. But I think yeah, on a main stage, I would definitely prepare, but also because of the nerves, like I would be so fucking nervous if I would play Ultra or Tomorrowland or whatever. That's huge.
I
I
think
w-
almost all DJs play pretty much, let's say 80% the same set in a short period of time. if they play a lot of shows.
On main stages, right?
Well, also different little stages. I mean, what you think of then is, okay, somebody comes to your show. What are they expecting? Or are you like a resident DJ playing tracks for the people who are there? That's kind of the
It
division. There's no the one isn't better than the other. Let me make that clear. I think resident DJs are really good DJs also. I
Hey,
mean, the
we
ones
have
who
a
play
we have a
top
clip
40
about
shit.
that.
David Guetta said,
We have a clip of the week about that.
We have a clip of the week about that.
Yep, exactly.
Did you share it with me?
Yeah.
Yeah, you even really
Wait,
commented
let
on
me
it.
just throw that in right now. Let me just see.
And I transcribed it, and yeah.
Oh wow.
I haven't even seen it.
Let me just share screen, Instagram. There we go. Instagram. Oh wow.
You need to be a producer.
Oh,
Otherwise,
man, dude.
you're going to be a resident DJ.
So
And
loud.
I have huge respect for resident DJs because I think, unfortunately, that today resident DJs do a bigger job culturally than superstar DJs. So now, if you want to be a big DJ,
Yeah. So that was.
Okay. Oh, but yeah, that's something different that I'm talking about. No, me and Marlon were talking about it yesterday because we played in Tomorrowland, and there was a resident DJ there who just knew how the crowd would react to stuff. So that's what we got talking about it. Yeah, culturally, man, I don't have a clue who has a more bigger impact. But a resident DJ just knows his crowd, gets to be a good DJ. We were actually talking about the guys in Breda who used to play there, Danik,
Yeah.
really good DJs, also Afrojack, and who did residencies, Hardwell at in Rotterdam at the of Hollywood Music Hall,
Hollywood musical. Yeah.
and makes you a really good DJ. I think that's why a lot of Dutch guys are such good DJs.
I was actually thinking about this last week as well, but something in me, like, I think the value of being a local DJ, like a good local all-round DJ, I think a lot of people underestimate how cool that can be, because most artists I talk to instantly go to the dream of traveling the world and being this main stage DJ, which is one, very hard, but also challenging in a lot of ways. While being a local DJ and like sleeping in your own bed, doing 3-4 gigs a week just in and around your own local town, that's a lot of fun as well. Like I've done that for a
and
couple
that's
of
two
years.
different things, like
Yeah, it's
what
two
we
different
do
things.
and what they do. And also, Marlon just started out in his hometown, Tilburg, with his
Yeah.
own party, Kelder
Same
Club.
era.
And but yeah, it's totally different from what we do. But so then you can, to get back to the discussion, okay, are the people expecting what I do, or am I gonna play for the people thinking of what they want to hear? And I do, in some extent, agree with Jobke because there's always, I mean, in a VIP club, you play different than for a rave crowd, yes, but that's about it. And for the rest, you're not going to make you have to, uh, um, how do you say it? Practice certain transitions if you're going to do some looping in there and all that kind of shit. If you don't practice it beforehand, you're not going to do it live, which will take out some of the like artistic or creative part of DJing for you. And it's not only just mixing, like,
Yeah.
okay, I have one track, cue, and then they go together for a little bit, then turn away the high and low, blah, blah, blah. That's also a bit boring. That's not only what it's about. And I think nowadays it's more about looping, creating certain stuff that's not in the track. And yeah, I mean, you're actually using your mixer way better than yeah.
But
Before.
you say you can't do that without preparing, is what you're saying.
Oh man, you're gonna have a hard time. You're not gonna start a loop where you've never practiced it before.
100%. That's what I do.
Yeah, definitely not.
Definitely, yes.
Okay,
So
then let's show us one time. Yeah, I mean,
yes, yeah, maybe. But like that's yes, for sure you do that, because sometimes you think of a vocal or a loop or a something that's the whole thing of real DJing. I think if you prepare all that, and I think that takes away that magic, or that things you come up with live for that crowd. But I think I agree with you in that way, that it depends a bit if you're, as a DJ, if you're a real ticket seller or not. And what I mean by that is if you're selling tickets a lot, so a venue books you and a lot of people come for your show, then I think yes, they kind of expect something. So they kind of expect certain songs and maybe a certain thing in your set. But if you're less of a ticket seller and more of like a certain genre DJ, so you play in a commercial club, um, people maybe expect less. Like for me, for example, if I play a big club somewhere and they expect less J Hardway, but they expect like an EDM night, then you do have more freedom to
Yeah.
experiment. And yeah,
I actually just had an epiphany, as in, I think that this is one of the reasons why I didn't like becoming a main stage DJ, because I'm more of a DJ like you, Jobke, as in, what I really liked about DJing is the in the moment acting, right? Like
yeah,
playing a song and during the song thinking like, oh, this would fit perfectly right now, or let's put this vocal on top of this right now, or let's just turn down the music and repeat the whole thing again. Like doing in the moment stuff was the thing that I liked the most. And the bigger I got, I kind of felt like there was less room for that. Um, and I really didn't like that now that I'm thinking about it. Like I was,
so there wasn't a point where you realized you have free will.
yeah, I do, but at that time, like I felt like I didn't, as in,
Yeah, I can
I
imagine.
felt like the pressure from other people around me was bigger than my own
Mhm,
will.
mhm.
So I felt like there was no room to do that. But now that I'm really thinking about it, like that was the fun I got from DJing, like just playing around with the crowd and doing things in the moment. And the bigger I got, the harder that got for me,
Mhm.
which probably took out a lot of the fun, to be
Yeah,
honest.
I can imagine. I can
Yeah,
imagine. And that's the thing with like playing bigger stages, bigger festivals. You do want to play
yeah,
certain songs, and you do not
yeah.
want to mess up. So you
Because
will.
I also get what Ralph says. Like, if you have 58 minutes and you need to put in all those tracks that you want, like you really need to start measuring out all those things, because
Yeah, for
it
sure.
matters, right? Those 58
Yeah,
minute matters.
yeah.
So I can see why on those stages you want to prepare it, but I
Hmm,
don't like
hmm.
that. As in, I wouldn't
No,
like to
I
do that.
can, but it's also, I think, the main thing that DJing isn't an hour of like pushing yourself. Like that's not. It evolved to become that, but I think in the foundation of DJing, you're DJing all night, and you have the chance to take your crowd a bit on a journey. And I think
Yeah,
that's what, if you're a local DJ, that's the stuff that you
yeah.
learn,
But I think
and then you have to.
that's also
Yeah, go ahead.
the split that Gedda talked about in that clip from a few weeks ago that we shared, right? Like that you've become more an entertainer these days if you become a bigger DJ.
I yeah, I thought was interesting, that he basically acknowledges that culturally he's not adding that much with his David Guetta sets,
Hmm.
and or that's not what he's saying, but he's maybe saying the resident DJs and the DJ at all the small local venues, they do culturally a big job, because
Yeah,
they're actually providing the entertainment for the masses,
yeah.
let's say.
I think we undervalue the local DJs. So let's put out a shout out to all the local DJs grinding every week in and out, helping
Always.
all those
Do you,
people to have a fun night. And we're always focusing on those main stage players, but let's not forget about the guys and the girls in like those dark pubs,
Yeah, if
bars,
you're in a
cafes.
small bar or local venue and there's an unknown DJ, just
Yeah,
and you like it, just go up to that
yeah.
person and say, "Hey, I like what you're doing."
I
It
really,
actually does a lot for.
I really appreciate a good all-round DJ. Like I really respect a good all-round DJ.
Same.
If somebody is playing from hip hop to dance music and from dance music into like Dutch songs or whatever, like I admire how those people do it. So let's go to the community questions. Community questions. Boom. Let me see. Where are the questions?
If you have questions, you can
No.
drop them in our Discord, the Artist Coaching Podcast Discord community on Discord, and in podcast questions. That's where these questions come from.
Yeah,
Go
the
ahead,
link can
Joey.
be found in the description. So I'm right now browsing to the questions, and this is one from Anton Lion Harris. Ahoy, question to Jopke. In the podcast 2 weeks ago, you mentioned that whenever you upgraded your speakers to a better pair, you all of a sudden heard new details more clearly and started to mix better. Since you went from the KRKs to the Adam A7X and now to the Gen LX, what exactly changed with every switch sound-wise?
Very hard to tell, I think. But how I probably can best describe it is with KRKs, you were lucky if it sounded good on all systems. So if you made it in the studio, it sounded amazing, and then sometimes in the car, it wouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like now with my Gen LX, so then the Adams is in between, and then to the Gen LX, it's whenever I make something now and I can hear it here, and it's mixed how I want it, then usually that translates directly also to other devices. So my phone, to the car, to a speaker at home, and I think it's a way more fair representation of what you're making. And that's, for example, sometimes you have a little bass line that you hear very well on KRKs, and then at home you're like, oh, I don't hear that bass line. And with the Gen LX, I feel way more like hey, I hear that bass line, so I know I'm gonna hear it on my phone as well. And I think that's the biggest difference. But approach wise, it's still the same. I listen and I adjust accordingly. But you get better at adjusting because you hear more what's wrong, you know.
Like the whole speaker thing is so weird to me, as in I hated those Gen LX. Like I just couldn't work on the things. But a lot of people swear by them. So it's so personal. It's so personal which speakers you choose and which one you like to work with. So yeah, make sure that if you go out to shop for new speakers, always check them out and listen to them in your own room as well, because that can also make a big difference.
What you should do is find studios, and this is difficult, that have those speakers and work there for a while, because I think it's in a store. It's impossible to check out. Oh, I like that speaker.
Yeah,
you almost need to work on it. So I have a dealer I work with that I'm like, hey, I want to try them out.
Did it just
and then
went
I can actually
bankrupt?
put them in my studio. Not that one.
But no, I think Genelec are, for most people, really okay. I think they might be the best brand there is.
Yeah, I just
don't
didn't
have
like them. I found them too.
I have them. Yeah, I love them.
Too what was it? I can't find the right
too good.
word. No,
your music sound. You
too
could hear
fragile.
your music too good.
No,
you didn't like your music anymore.
It sounded too fragile. Like I don't know. Like it sounded like everything could break. I don't know what it was, but
I think they're pretty well balanced, and they're also maybe not even the most. I think the vocals I have are more honest, and but I know that I know a lot of people don't like the vocals. Yeah, they're a bit loud or noisy. But Genelec, to be honest, whenever I'm in a good studio and they have Genelecs, the proper ones, then I'm usually fine with it. I think, yeah.
Okay.
And also, did you have Adams before, Jopke?
Yeah.
Oh man, I never encountered Adams I like. I don't know what it is. And but it also really depends on what kind of studio you have. I never worked well in a really big studio. I just can't.
I must say, yesterday I was in the old studio of Fede Legrand in Breda, which I think is a pretty impressive studio. If you walk in, it looks pretty impressive, but the environment does impact you, as in, yeah, I wonder if I could work there properly, because it's such an environment, right? Like you kind of feel the pressure to perform because you're in this sick studio, while at home or in your own studio, you're more like just doing your thing. I don't know.
Nah, I mean, it's also get to know your room. I'm definitely sure when I put other speakers here, yeah, in a few weeks I will just know how they work and
Yeah, it's
get
getting
used to
used to
it.
it. That's what
Yeah,
Fresh
but
Ghost also said. He says speakers are also really depend on the room, and a lot of people also use headphones.
yeah,
I
I
could never
cannot
work on
perform well on
headphones.
headphones. You just get
Same.
tired and
Yeah,
cannot hear it anymore.
me
But
too.
also, yeah, you got to use them as a reference. But also what we discussed before about your track never being done or being perfectionistic. It just also depends. Sometimes I listen to promos and I go like I hear stuff and I think, wow, these are sounding so different than my tracks. And then I compare them. And sometimes I get worried, like, whoa, my high end's just like absent. I need to change it. And then I'm gonna start using more references, like who's doing it wrong, me or the other ones. And then usually it's the other ones. But no, but sometimes it's just really refreshing. Like I have this track I'm talking about now, and I could definitely hear through the reference my high end could be boosted way more.
Hmm.
So yeah, and that's also,
This
but that's just yeah, it's so depend. Use a lot of references. That's the main point.
this kind of goes into the next question from Jelly Boner. How is it possible that there are a lot of mid-tier DJs, but their music technically just sucks? Mixdowns are bad, cheap productions, the list goes on.
Who's
I'm
that?
I'm questioning everything. Do you also notice this
Some
sometimes?
homeless guy just walked to my
Oh,
studio.
yo, Max,
I'm a mid-tier DJ producer.
Hey,
talking to a mid-tier producer. Yo,
Exhibit A.
Brother,
Exhibit A. Yeah, exactly.
What was the question again, Jopke? Because
How is it possible that
Joey,
there are a lot of mid-tier DJs, but their music technically just sucks?
is that so? I don't
I don't
know.
know.
Yeah, we need like real
Names.
examples,
We need
names,
names.
drop names.
Yeah.
I
A
mean,
lot of
everybody can
music
make a cool track that's just technically not so cool. Yeah, but fuck it. If it sounds good, it is good,
it
and yeah,
technically is also subjective a little bit, or technically sounds good is a bit subjective. So it's like that's hard to judge.
Yeah, true.
yeah. But I
Okay.
do know, like, there are a few DJs, and I'm definitely not gonna name names. But especially in the newer genres, they just have a shitload of bookings, and their tracks are just not so well. But sometimes it just doesn't matter what the tracks are. Also, not totally decisive. It
That's
can
probably
also
what he
be a good
means.
set, a good, well prepared set.
But that's probably what he means, as in mid-tier DJs, but with shit music.
Yeah, but it can be. I mean, it's all eventually it's about playing a proper set that people can dance to and be entertained.
I think a big reason
Yeah.
why there are a lot of mid-tier DJs with bad music is that they're very good in marketing and very good in content. And
Oh,
by marketing and
that's
creating
also
content,
definitely a thing.
they've built their brand, they've built their name, they've built a following, and now they're a DJ. So they're attracting a crowd, so they get
Oh, but
booked.
at some point, everybody needs a platform of some sort. At some point, it's not only your social media. You know,
No, but that probably helped them to build the name because the music might
definitely,
not have
yeah,
been the
yeah.
reason why.
It's all
Um,
extended. Yeah.
yeah, so that
Hey,
could be
but
the
if you use
reason.
the platform and have your social media on point, that's a golden thing. And I mean, also making your own music, it only gives you the opportunity to bring stuff nobody else can bring in your set.
Mhm.
I mean, don't forget that. That's also part of being a DJ, artist, whatever you want to call it. And I mean, those sets are still really important. If you listen to, and I'm a big fan, Amelie Lens, she doesn't all. I mean, her set isn't like how many percent is her own tracks or own edits?
I have
It's
no
way
clue.
less than what we do,
I
for
haven't
instance.
heard a single set of her.
You
But
should.
yeah,
Hey, get invested into dance
Not
music,
into
man.
not into that
Learn.
style.
I'll check
Not
Huh?
it.
into that style.
Yeah, I don't like the
Man,
style
you
either.
guys are too Grinches, man. And one is already dressed in green. You should wear green.
It's not about being a Grinch. It's just personal style, a personal taste. Like I don't listen.
You never listen to it, man. You're
I-
sounding like my 2-year-old now, who's actually 3.
I did listen to a
I
couple
don't
of
like this
stuff,
food. I said
but
to him, you haven't even tasted it.
I listened to a couple of things of her, but I haven't checked
Ah,
the
a
full
couple
set.
of things of her. Yeah, you didn't listen to shit, man.
I did, but I
Yeah.
never
Ralph
go through a
has,
full
guys,
set.
it shows Ralph has stock in
Ralph is
Amelie
invested.
Lens
Ralph's
company.
No.
He's
invested. I
invested.
Well,
know.
what you should do, and
obviously.
actually, that's what I really like. How did you listen to Hardwell at Ultra from front to end?
Yep.
When?
Last week.
And did you just sit behind the computer, or when? What did you do?
I clicked through it like on the Office.
Oh, you clicked through it, so
Yeah.
you didn't listen from front to end. Okay.
No,
Hey,
full.
lawyers, right there.
I never.
No, what's
the
really
only
useful?
the only reason why I listen to full sets is while at work. Like right now, there's a set of, I think it's a podcast from Free Range Records radio show. I just play those things in the background, but I never have an EDM thing on the background. Never.
No, well, I do, and it's actually refreshing. You can learn a lot. But I also listen. I even listen to Timmy Trumpet, who doesn't play the music. He's really hard, and
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
really
it
hard.
works, but not for me so much. Although we ended up with our track "My Way," a cool edit, and I have to salute him. But a little bit of how do you call it?
Chilling.
Self promotion in there. The thing is, I like listening to sets while I work out. And you actually then have the chance to listen to the real set from front to end and learn about what others do. And I think it's a necessity to form opinions about artists and to form even an opinion about the dance music as a whole.
No.
Yeah,
That's not how the world works.
that's
It's
how
a
the world
you
works.
you think something of everything, regardless if you've had done your research.
No, but hey,
If I don't
man,
like a set, I click through it. I don't like it.
hey,
I don't have to
but let's
listen
be
the whole set
honest. You
to
have
know
an
if I like
opinion,
it.
yes, but it's a prejudice.
Of course,
Joey
yeah.
just told us he didn't like
Amelie
Mhm.
Lens.
Amelie Lens, even though he actually doesn't really know what she stands
Yeah,
for.
but that's how it works.
I listened
No,
to
that's not
a
how
couple
it
of the
works.
sets.
It
That's
is.
not how it's
Yeah.
supposed to work.
Yeah, but
You're
that's
being
how
a
life
human
works.
being with a prejudice right now, and you
Yeah, but
shouldn't.
that's what you're exactly right. That's what humans do. You
Yeah.
hear something, I don't like it. I don't know why I don't like it, but I don't like it. So I'm not gonna invest my time into that. That's how it
Yeah, I
just
don't have the
the
time
world works. That's
to
why
figure out
it's so
all the
hard.
genres.
But
No, you don't
that's
have
why
to
it's so
figure out all, but I mean, she
that's why
makes
it's
a landmark. She and Charlotte de
yes,
Witte,
but
two
it's this is
girls
exactly
making, they're doing shit. It's pretty amazing. Give it a little bit of your time.
this is
Can
exactly
be
why it's
worth your
hard to
while.
grasp. This is exactly why it's hard to grasp what's popular and what's not, and what's going to be popular and what's not. Because people, especially people in the crowd, they don't give a shit. They just think something of something, and then they like it or they don't.
Your
They don't investigate.
creativity
They don't.
will get such an enormous boost when you just a sponge, sponge, sponge. That's
But
how it
Ralph,
always worked and
but Ralph,
still works. If you're a beginner, intermediate, professional, whatever you want to call it.
I agree fully on that, and I'm fully open to new styles. But you could say the same thing about Skrillex. Like I do listen to Skrillex albums from front to back. I listen to
Yeah.
Skrillex sets from front to back because that's what piques my interest, and I want to check it out.
Mhm.
But you probably don't.
No, I just at
Exactly.
some point after 15 minutes I had my
Exactly. So why
opinion
don't you
made.
give it
Yeah,
a chance?
true.
Why don't you listen to the full set and give the
Yeah,
guy a
maybe
chance?
it
Because
it
he's a
got more
genius.
to
Like
my taste,
I
but
can
yeah,
say
it
the
didn't. Yeah,
same exact thing about that. Like it's about
yeah.
you like certain genres and that's what you tap into and that's what you do. Like sometimes I check new stuff, but it either grabs you or it doesn't. And if it
You
doesn't,
don't
I
check
check
new
out.
stuff. You're
I
you're
do.
like the old blogs, going back to
Dude,
the shit we
Chase
know.
and Status. I recently checked. Fred again.
Yeah,
I
they're
recently
pretty
checked.
amazing. Yeah,
They're amazing. Like
yeah.
I check them, give them a chance, but if I don't like them, just like you do with Skrillex, after 50 minutes I just check out and I don't go back not
Mhm.
too long ago. So it's all about like you only have 24 hours a day, you have a personal taste, you figure out what you like, you tap into that and that's what you do.
Okay, but then I mean, you're not a producer or actually, really, you're not a creator anymore.
No.
The other guy here next to me, over you, is to any creative person with everything that's like pretty adjacent to what you do. Be a sponge. Learn about what they do. You
But you have
should
to
be
be that.
aware of what's happening in the dance landscape.
Yeah, but you should be that in your whole life, right? Like you should stay open-minded about everything. It's the same with technology. Like you
Sure,
could
but
abandon
this is
AI,
pretty
but
relevant.
If something,
I'm
if
not going to be
something
a
doesn't,
footballer and don't check out other teams. How can you be a coach and be like, fuck the other teams, man? I just make my own plays. Yeah, that's not how it works.
yeah, that's
if
true.
something doesn't grasp you, don't 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 chase it. Don't go for it, and don't think you have to check out stuff you don't like. Maybe then where you want to go isn't where you end up. But
Honest
so it's
question.
like,
Which DJs could still play your tracks of now? Jopke,
no idea, no idea.
shouldn't you have an idea?
Maybe,
No, yes, you should.
but it's a bit it's not relevant to what I think. You're saying that if you want to become, this is maybe where you're right. If you want to become a DJ that plays the main stage now,
No,
you should
not even
investigate
a
stuff. You
stage.
should investigate now stuff now that you that is popular now, even if you don't fully like it, or yeah, maybe if you don't fully like it.
You
I'm
don't
saying
know.
if you're an artist, that's not what it's about. Something grabs your attention or it doesn't. And I say go for the stuff that does grab your attention, because that's what gives you inspiration. That's what makes you create. That's the whole, for me, that's being an artist. And I'm not gonna check out stuff that doesn't grab my attention. That then I don't play the main
Now,
stage.
this
I
is
don't care about that. But
artist
it's like I'm not
coaching.
gonna.
And
Yeah,
this is a
exactly.
good tip. You should be well aware of the world you want to be a part of. Honestly, it's
Yeah, but there's a
how
part of
can
that
you or else
world that
not
you can
be? I mean,
create. You can create a new part of that world. It's not all like this is the EDM now. That's just all you can do. That's what I'm saying.
no.
There's way more
Okay. Oh,
to
you want to
create.
start your own concept, new parties then. Also fine.
I don't know. No, I don't know. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying
That's what
there's
you're
way
saying.
more
It
than that.
doesn't exist
Than
yet.
there's way more than what's now on the main stages. There's way more stuff we haven't even dreamt of,
I'm not
and that's
even
where you should
talking
go.
about the main stages. I mean, how many places are there for you? I mean, these questions we ask ourselves daily as artists. We look at festivals, lineups, and stages there are.
Not me.
How many
Not me.
spots could be for us?
Yeah,
It's
I
it's
don't
a
think
really
like that.
relevant
I don't,
question,
but
you know.
I don't think like that. I've never thought like that. I will never ever think like that. And if that doesn't bring me any more success, so be it. But that's not how I r- live my life. So
This
it's
just
like,
comes down to the two types of artists that you guys are. As in, Ralph is just more commercial and more on the
How's that
lookout.
even more commercial? You just think strategically. It's
Yes,
not
you
that I
think
give
strategically,
anything
and
up of my vision. I let myself be educated by others who do cool stuff.
yeah,
I'm
you think
actually
strategically, and
being
you
way
try.
more
yeah, but that
artistic
cool
than
stuff.
being shutting myself off for anything
But
from the
do cool
outside.
stuff. That do cool stuff. That's the main part. What you're saying is, if I don't like Amelie Lenz, you're saying I should still investigate her because I want to be
No,
a
there are
DJ.
way more than Amelie Lenz. And I mean,
Yeah,
there's
but
this
I'm gonna
whole new
find the
world.
ones that
It's
interest me.
exciting. It's fresh.
I'm gonna find the one that interests me, and it's not
Who's
Amelie Lenz.
who interests you right now?
Alesso,
Alesso.
for example. Yeah,
The new stuff Alesso does.
yeah.
Name a track.
The intro he played at Tomorrowland last year, where the collab with Sick Individuals.
Okay.
It's
That's
great.
cool.
I love it.
Yeah. That's an honest
But it's like
thing.
it's not that I don't agree with you. It's just like I'm just trying to, you don't, if you aren't attracted to some kind type of music, just because you want to take their spot on the main stage, I don't think you should investigate
No,
per
but
se
hey,
what they're doing.
apart from Amelie Lenz or whatsoever, the thing I'm saying is, if you want to be part of the dance landscape, there is or want to create, you should be invested in it.
But the
I mean, if
landscape
you,
is very
100%.
broad, right?
100%.
Like,
it's very broad, but you need to know
Yeah.
where you stand. That's why I ask who can play your tracks. Which parts of existing festivals, if you're not going to make your own,
yeah, and you
is
could be,
actually an availability for you as an artist?
yeah, and I
It's
get,
relevant questions you should
I
always
understand
ask
and I
yourself.
agree with the fact that you should be aware of those things, but you don't have
Mhm.
the time to go deep into all of those things. Like,
You do have the time. You definitely do have the
you
time.
can't
If
you
I
can't
have the
you can't
time,
be on top
me
of
and
every
Marlon have the
single
time.
genre out there. Like, there are millions of genres that you don't even
No,
know
but it's
yet.
adjacent to what you do. I mean, it don't. That's why I've less with Skrillex, because he's in the dancing landscape. He's so far away from what I
And
do and like.
how is Amelie Lens in any kind of way similar to what Jobke is doing? Because I can see why it's similar to what you guys are doing, but Jobke is in a whole different ball game when it
Man,
comes
she
down.
plays really cool melodies. Yeah, Jopke likes really cool
I mean,
melodies. If he amps
this is
up
the
his
thing.
BPM, it could be for him or her. Yeah.
This thing, I think I agree in that sense that if you're making a track, you want it to be played, you have to kind of think like, how will I make Afrojack play this, or how will I make these DJs play it? But then again, tracks that have done really well for me and in my sets didn't get much live support at all. So it's like also you can still do that thing. You don't have to.
Definitely. It's your
Yeah,
vision.
yeah.
Fine. But and also we never think of we do have this bandwidth in which we operate, and I like a lot of the new artists, and I hear stuff there and I think, oh, man, I remember when I worked on this, I could do that, what they do. It's always cross-referencing. It's a lot in creativity. That's like the most common principle, and actually makes you so much more than you were before. But we never think of this is going to be for him or this is going to be for her. Never, because it always comes out of an unexpected corner. But it all could be in this certain array of artists, could be something for them in their sets. Yeah.
Hey,
And I think you should think about it. I mean, it's artist coaching, right? We should, like, it's still not the hobby podcast.
you should think
It's
about it.
still like there's 1 million approaches to
Yeah,
being an artist.
that's the
So
thing. Like, it's
yeah.
an option, and I think that's what people should take with them. It's just another option, as in there's many types of artists. There's also many types of ways to be an artist. You have people who do it as a hobby. You have people who want to make it a living from it. You have people up chasing the main stages. People just wanting to do after parties. There's so many different tastes in being an artist that there is no one way. There is a lot of ways, and your way
Maybe
is one of
we
them.
should start a poll, and we should know the people who are listening, and they can tell us what they want. I mean, make a distinction between the after parties and the main stages, dude.
There is like, if
Not
I
even
look
a
at,
distinction. Yeah.
yeah, but if I look at the types of clients we have, there's a lot of different artists in there. Like,
Yeah.
I have
But
clients
to be honest,
who don't even want to
if
play the
this
main
is going to be
stages.
the hobbyist podcast, then I'm out. That's not.
It's not
Yeah.
necessarily hobby, but it's more like not necessarily the main stages itself. Like,
No,
there's
but
more than
man,
just
dude,
that.
you're acting like I'm talking about the main stages all the time. I don't fucking care. But if you want to play a festival at a stage somewhere in the freaking world, you better know what you are doing and who you can contact and what's out there. You should be invested. And also what you like. Which stages do you like to visit? I mean, I think you like dance parties, right?
Let's agree to disagree here, because this is not going to any kind of conclusion at all, and we're already far over time. So, is
No,
there anything to
I
shill
made
yet?
my conclusion, and I hope everybody who's listening also made their conclusion. But I mean, if you don't like dance parties at all, then why? What are you doing at all? Yeah, go do
That's what I
something
said.
else.
Is there anything to shill from your end?
Man, it's gonna be like Bassjackers only this summer. We're starting right now. We just released Samba de Janeiro, the remake, together with the original artist Bellini. It's out now on Spotify. It's doing really well. We're gonna release the Wiggle Wiggle bootleg on SoundCloud as a free download. After that, man, what's coming? We have Hardcore Mofo. We have the Beethoven versus Aria thing coming up. We have Rewind, a cool track coming out, and there's a lot. And Rewind's actually gonna be a self-release. First one for us. Never too old to learn.
Okay.
That's some advice for you guys.
And you, Jay?
Boomers.
There's a huge weekend coming up. The Masters, big golf tournament. There's a new track coming in 3 weeks. Is it 3 weeks from now? The Friday in 3 weeks, I think. Let me check. 2 weeks. Friday and then 2 weeks.
Okay.
So a new Hardway track. So I'm excited about that.
Perfect. And make sure to check in next week again, same time, same day, for another podcast episode. Make sure to drop any questions that we haven't answered yet, because I saw a few in the live chat as well, and there's still a few in the Discord yet that we haven't got through. Make sure to drop it in the Discord for next week so we can take it with us in that episode. Make sure to like and subscribe on the YouTube page and on Spotify. That helps us to build a following. And make sure to share it with your friends, family, cat, dog, whatever you want. And then we'll be back next week. Bye-bye.